Hi, lovely people. Just had a bit of an argument with my mum. Didn't want to do, but it was over Tony Morris. I just happened to say that I understand that Tony Morris has had a house paid for, some kind of bungalow in a suburban area, a really nice middle class area, paid for by all the brothers and sisters, all the contributions. They would have paid for that house. And I said, and he's had to sign a non-disclosure agreement that he wouldn't talk about anything, and that's why he's got this house. And if he does talk out of place, they'll take the house off him. And of course, this is news to my mum, to my JW mum. She's not aware that he's been given VIP treatment in exchange for his complete removal, all his comments being removed from all previous videos on JW Broadcasting. He's been photoshopped out of all the governing body photographs, and they've done their best to completely remove all trace of him. And so I said, well, look, Mum, this is really fishy, this. Look, I says, you've got to look at it from a logical point of view, as if you was a reporter. And the first thing you would say is, why did he get this house paid for? What did he do to earn it? And my mum says, well, it's all these years of service as a governing body member. I says, yeah, but I could only agree with that to a point. It's the fact that they made him sign this non-disclosure and made it quite clear that him remaining in this property is on condition that he doesn't talk out of turn. So what do they not want him to talk out of turn on, is what I said to my mum. And she says, oh, you're listening to too many rumours. There'll be a logical explanation for it. I says, no, there isn't. No, there isn't, because not only did they give him the house, but they've gone to great lengths to remove all his comments. Remember that comment about how he didn't particularly like brothers who had beards, and said so, and now the organisation has relaxed that law and says that they can all have beards. So everything that Tony Morris has categorically stated as something that he frowns upon, they've since removed all his comments and relaxed those particular laws. And it says, and there's the one about Jehovah's enemies snuffed out like smoke. Do you remember that one, Mum? That you won't find that one now. That's all gone. Of course, a lot of the ex-JW community will have made copies of that at the time, so they'll have it on their hard drives. I said, it's just very, very strange that he's been rewarded, right? And for me, this doesn't gel. It doesn't seem right. How can you reward someone and yet remove all their past dealings and videos and comments? It just doesn't make sense, Mum. You do one or the other, don't you? If you reward someone, then you uphold their previous works and you showcase them and you preserve them. That's when you reward someone. But to reward them and then still remove all trace of them. Look, Mama says, as a reporter, as someone that looks at the facts, you can only come to one conclusion. They've paid him off. It's the only conclusion you can come to. They've paid him off. They've said, here's your house, sign this, thanks for your years of service, but that's it. You're no more. You're not going through Warwick anymore. You live here now, this lovely bungalow that we bought you, or the brothers and sisters around the world have bought you with all their contributions. I says to my mum, I says, look, Mum, if you've paid for someone to have a bungalow, don't you think that you have the right to know that this is what they did? Why wasn't there some kind of an announcement from the platform on a Thursday or whenever by the elders, and they proposed that they buy Tony Morris a house for him and his wife to remain in until their deaths. But they didn't, did they? They never did any of that. They did it all secretively. And that's too underhand for words, Mum. You know, that's just like every other religion that does things underhand. It's not out in the open. It's not what I would have come to expect from what I once believed was the true religion. So I just left her with that. I didn't want to upset her. I can't help it, but I felt strongly on it. But, you know, my mum's getting ill now. You know, she's coming to the end of her life. I don't want to knock her foundations from under her. That wouldn't put a smile on my face if I did that. It's just that I got so angry when I found out that he'd been paid off. I just couldn't hold it in. I had to say something to her. I suppose in retrospect now, in hindsight, I kind of wish now that I hadn't have said anything, because she might be thinking about it now, and she might quiz the elders when they next come to the house. Is it true that Tony Morris has received a bungalow? Maybe they don't even know. They've done it in such secretive fashion. But I wouldn't want to belong to a religion that does things secretively like that. I like things out in the open. I like frankness. So I would, if I was still attending, if I was an elder or a ministerial servant and I was still there, I would want an announcement from the platform to tell me that they're taking money from the Watchtower's account in order to buy this property for Tony Morris and his wife. That is what I would have expected, and yet it didn't happen, did it? Makes you so angry. See ya.